What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we got young Ethan with us. Ethan is a 2023 grad class. He's a right-handed pitcher. He's been throwing really well with Canes West lately. We're going to go over some of the things that make him special, as well as some of the things that we're working on. All right, so one of the first things I noticed working with Ethan and identifying him, come here real quick. So Ethan is a little bit of a higher slot guy, right? So his current repertoire is like four seam and curveball, so more like north-south, which is really good. And the changeup we figured out we've gotten some better feel for. It's not a super runny pitch, but it tunnels really well. He just went 5 innings, 10 strikeouts with like 3 hits and 2 walks or something like that. So a good whip, like a 1 whip with like 2 punch outs per inning. So he's tunneling really well right now. One of the first things I noticed, though, being a higher slot guy and a 4-seam guy, is he had a little bit of a tendency. Sometimes he would like naturally cut it a little bit. He's got like a dominant, I call it middle finger dominant. So some guys like myself are really like index finger dominant and have a tendency just to naturally turn it over. Some guys are middle finger dominant and have a tendency to like sometimes cut it a little bit. Even if it's not like throwing full sliders, it's got a little bit of that I'm on the outside of the ball spin. So the first thing we did was clean it up, where we got him really starting to feel behind the ball and on top of it, to where we're getting true backspin. That way our fastball isn't like, we're neither not yanking it or cutting it. We're getting that true backspin, which in my opinion is going to make the curveball a lot better from a tunneling standpoint. And for those that don't know, tunneling means when I throw a fastball that's like letter height, I'm trying to start my next curveball that starts letter height and then breaks out. Or if I'm throwing a slider, I start a slider that starts middle and goes away, and then I throw a 2-seam behind it that then runs in. It works really well for striking out batters, and it just helps you, like, same thing like in boxing or in fighting, right? Like one punch sets up the other one. That 4-seam is going to set up a good curveball. So the fact that our spin is less sideways and more straight back and then over the top is good. But one of the things we've been working on too is, because he was like naturally cutting the ball, we're trying to work on a cutter. And one of the things, especially with high school guys, that I would recommend is that you throw one breaking ball, right? Either a curveball or a slider. More so that you don't have a curveball and a slider that then both kind of turn into a slurve, kind of that like 11-7 or 10-8 angle, and you have one that's more top to bottom and one that's more side to side. So one of the things you'll see in this video is that tunneling of the 4-seam and the curveball, as well as some good change-ups, and then I'll highlight some of the cutters as well at the end. Ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it done. So last thing real quick, with any of my guys, whenever we're finishing a bullpen, we worked on stuff, we worked on mechanics, all that different stuff. We try to keep it simple. We try not to work on 17 things at a time, because that's not how the brain works, right? So if you remember, like when you were in school, did you learn the entire chapter in one day, or did you learn the chapter section by section? So we're learning everything section by section. because that's just the way the brain understands things and comprehends it. But once all of that's done, and it's time to actually put it into some practical use. So now what we're going to do, anytime we throw a bullpen, we're going to end with a batter or two. So today I think we'll throw 2 batters, both out of the windup. We'll give a scenario. We'll try to treat it as game-like as possible. So we'll say we'll go no outs, no outs, nobody on, leadoff hitter, or no outs, or 2 outs, runner on first, 1-run game, power right-hander at the plate, right? So you give yourself those different scenarios so that when you get out in a game, it's like nothing new. Okay, so we got left-hander, speed guy, not a real power threat. Strike 1. Good. That's all we need to do. Just box the first one. Everything we do works off of the box fastball. Is that cutter?
No, it's a fastball.
Okay. So that's what we were talking about earlier in the video. Keep going, please. That's what we were talking about earlier in the video, where sometimes the fastball cuts a little bit when the hand is behind it and we get a little middle finger dominant. But it's 0-2 right here. Great pitch. Again, ghost hitter doesn't swing. Let's go change up off the plate. Regardless, I want to see change up off the plate, and I want to see you try to back foot cutter a lefty.
Okay.
Or even not back foot, but just like inside to a left-hander. It's okay. One zero. This is a right-handed batter. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the order guy. Strike. Give you that one. 1-1. Good. 1-2. Good job staying fastball dominant too, right?
Yeah.
We always have a tendency to want to get cute and get fancy, but like now we're in a 1-2 count. We're in a power position. You can do whatever here. It's a great pitch, but ghost hitters don't swing. See that cutter? Oh!